Fair Lady works the shuttles is kind of a fun gesture because it moves in 4 different directions, and there's kind of a cool crossover step. It's called the dragon step. I'm going to show this in the common direction of the form only. It's already difficult enough to figure out from a camera perspective where the angles are. If I was to show you this in 6 different directions, it's going to be extremely confusing. It'll be bad enough when you try to figure out how to do it on the dark side or the uncommon side of the form. I will, however, change my perspective of the first shuttle because we come off of a single whip. So you're going to want to see my hands from the front, but just understand I'm showing you a perspective for that purpose only. Otherwise, I'm going to just do this in the actual direction of the form. So let's start with the single whip. Okay, so from the single whip, I'm going to start the setup with a Fair Lady Works the Shuttles to my right rear corner. And in order for me to get there, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to scoop my left foot, bring my left hand down. And once I'm about 50-50, halfway with my left hand in front of my center, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to pull my heel and put all my weight in the back foot. So this is just part one of the setup. The second part, I'm going to swing my right foot from this corner 45 degrees over to that side, and as I do that, once I do this, I'm going to shift my weight to that foot, and I'm basically going to drop my left hand down, draw my right hand back, fingers even with my chin, and then I'm going to do a swing step with my left foot, point it to the corner. So my right foot's to the side, my left foot's to the corner, and I'm setting up a bow stance to do my very first toes down, Fair Lady Works the Shuttles. So let me do that again. I've got my bow stance. I'm going to sit back, pull my toes, shift to my left foot, and when I'm halfway, start to pull my heel, use your center, pull the heel, open your hook. So now everything's pointing to the corner. My right foot's to the corner, my right hand's to the corner, my left hand is pointing to my elbow. I'm going to do a little swing step with the right foot, 45 degrees, now it's pointing to the side. As I shift my weight, I'm going to drop my left hand down. Now that I'm over my right foot, I'm going to swing my left foot around. So it's going to move from that corner to the side. So my heels are lined up. If I put a yardstick, the heels will be behind my heels. I'm going to put my foot down. I'm going to start to roll my left hand up. And then I'm going to push my center and sit in my quad. This is a squared off stance to the corner. And my right hand is just a little bit out in front of my left and not too far past my front foot. So here's my Fair Lady Works the Shuttles, the first one of 4. So now I'm going to face the camera, and again you're going to have to sort of transpose this. Just want you to be able to see the footwork in the hands. So here's my single whip. So I'm going to shift and drop my wrist, pull my left toes around, and now they're pointing straight ahead. I'm going to sit back into my left leg, straighten out my right heel, and line up my hands. So my foot's to the corner, my hands are to the corner. Now I'm going to do a little swing step. I'm going to slide my foot 45 degrees to the corner over here. And once I do that, I'm going to start to transition to that leg. I'm going to drop my left hand down, pull my right hand back, and when I'm over this foot, I can release my left foot. I'm going to swing that one. Have your heels on the line. Imagine that there's a yardstick behind you. Toes are pointing towards the corner. I'm going to put the toes down and start to roll my left hand. This will be my blocking hand. Right here, I'm about halfway. I'm going to sit in my quad to finish my block and do my first strike. All right, one more time. Drop the hand, pull the toes, sit back, swing step, drop the hand, pull this back, block, strike, sit in your quad. Okay, so that's pretty much how you get the thing started. Now let's take a look at it going in all four directions. As I said before, I'm not going to show this any other way. It's going to be confusing enough as it is. So as you guys know, I like to use yardsticks to help me find where my proper footwork is supposed to be. So this is going to be a little awkward because my feet have to pass over where the stick is. I hope that you just get the general idea. I just thought I'd do one more of the opening move using this just to give you some perspective. So I'm going to set up my single whip. And again, I'm going to have to modify things just a little bit, but the concepts will be the same. So here's my single whip. First thing I'm going to do is shift back, pull my left toes 90 degrees so my left foot's parallel with the yardstick. Now I'm going to sit back and release the heel of the right foot so everything's pointing to the corner. Okay? As I do this, I'm going to open my hand, swing this foot here so that now it's pointing to that side. I'm going to shift to the right foot, drop my left hand down, and once I'm over here, I'm going to do another swing step. So I'm going to bring this around and line up my heels, but point my left foot towards the corner. My toes will be up. When I put the toes down, I start to move my center, block, strike, sit in your quad. So hopefully this sort of gave you an idea as to where your feet are supposed to go. We end up in a bow stance, left foot to the corner, right foot over here, a bow stance in the corner for the first of the Fair Lady Works, the shuttles. So once again, I'm going to use the yardstick to give you perspective of directions. When I do the actual movements, I can't have the yardstick here, but I want you to sort of impress it into your mind that this marker for us on the floor is going to tell us that our four directions are going to be as it relates to this particular diagnostic line. So we do the Fair Lady Works' shuttle in four corners. The first one we already did with the opening move. Now I'm going to be over here for that first one. Now I'm not going to do the transitions yet. I'm just going to show you that we're going to do one to this corner. We're going to end up doing another one over to this corner. We're going to do yet another one to this corner. And then we'll spin around and end up doing one more in this corner. So we got to hit these four corners. So it's going to be that corner, that corner, that corner, and that corner. We're not going to stay right next to this yardstick either because we're going to do a dragon step. That's going to shift us over a little bit, but that doesn't take away the fact that we're trying to go to the corners. These are four corners. Okay, so keep this in your mind. I'll sort of refer to it as I go around every one of those corners. Okay, hold that thought. Okay, so let's figure out how to do the Fair Lady Works the shuttles in four different directions. I'm going to start with the first one. I'm not going to repeat the opening that got here. We're just going to figure out how to get from this one to the next one. So right now we're doing a Fair Lady Works the shuttles in the right front corner. We need to end up with one over on this side. How we're going to get there, again, is going to be dependent on good footwork. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shift all my weight to the right leg. I'm going to hold this ball and I'm going to go pigeon toe. This left foot's going to come all the way around and point to my right foot. Okay, so again, a lot of the hip exercises are going to be helpful to get the hip flexors loosened up to do this. All right, so once I do this, then I'm going to release this right foot. Now, in your heads, picture that yardstick. I'm going to step straight behind me, right along that yardstick, point my toes to the corner, pull my left foot around, turn my center, block, and strike. So from this corner, Fair Lady Works the shuttles to the right front corner. I'm going to roll back, relax my hands, get all my weight in my right leg. Twist this left foot all the way around, point to the heel or point to your right foot. Release that foot, bring it straight back, keep turning because we're going to go to that corner. Keep turning and kind of like embrace the tiger, you're going to step straight back, point your toes to that corner, start to go to 50-50. Once you hit your 50-50, you can fix this back foot to root it. Keep moving your center. This left hand is close to your chin as you block with the right hand, and then extend the left hand, but not too far. Just stop a little bit in front of your right hand and not too far in front of your toes of your right foot. Okay, so I'll do that one more time to get from this corner to that corner. Fair Lady works the shuttles to the right front corner. Sit back, hold ball, twist step, step straight back, toes to the corner, root the back foot, sit in your quad. So I have a bow stance to the corner. Now I've got to be able to get Fair Lady works the shuttles to the opposite corner. So to do that, I'm going to do what's called a dragon step, and we'll look at that as we prepare. Now, my Zen point is over here. Should be pretty much standard understanding by now. When I was facing that corner, my Zen point was over there. Actually, why don't I look at that for a second? So I've got my Fair Lady works the shuttles. When I carry the ball, I'm basically just going to let my head rotate around. And once I'm over here, I pick up my Zen point and block and strike. Okay, both stance to the corner. Now, from here, once I hold the ball, I'm going to look to the left corner because I need to do a Fair Lady works the shuttles over there in that corner. So from this position here, I'm going to hold the ball, look to the corner. Now this is going to be the dragon step. I'm going to shift my weight to my left foot. My right foot's pointing to the right corner right now. So I still want to do that same thing. When I do this step, I'm going to cross over, but I'm going to still keep my foot pointing to that corner. So I haven't changed the configuration of where it's, the direction it's facing, but what I am doing is that I'm going to cross over. Now when I do the crossover, you should feel your left knee sit behind the crook of your right knee. This is a stance all of its own. There's a lot of things that come off of this stance. That's why it's called a dragon stance. And we're going to just use it as a transition to get to our Fair Lady over here. So make sure that you keep your foot to the corner. Feel your knees touch. It's a nice solid stance. Then you're going to come out of that stance and establish your bow stance. So your heels are going to be on the line, your left foot's to the corner. And when your weight's 50-50, you're going to pull this foot and sit in your quad over here. Now I'll put the hands into it. So I got my bow stance to the corner. I'm going to look to the left, hold the ball, shift to the left leg, do a crossover step, or actually it's a dragon step. Keep your toes pointed to that corner. Okay, release that back foot. You know, again, I like to peel things off, especially when you're trying to do the form really slow. Feel the heel release. Touch lightly, again, no weight. Toes to the corner. Now as the toes go down and you start to make your block and strike, you hit 50-50, pull that back foot, it stops over there, here's your block, here's your strike, and sit in your quad. So you've got a bow stance to that corner. So now this is the third of the four that we need to do. So one more time, I've got my right bow stance to the left front corner as it relates to this being front. I'm going to look left, hold ball, shift, dragon step, peel from the heel to the toe, point your foot to the corner, okay, heels in line, toes down, and halfway, fix, root the back foot, square your hips, finish your gesture. Now I've got one more to do. I need to do one more over in that corner. So this move is going to be identical to the one that you did earlier. To go from the first one to the second one, we're going to do a pigeon-toed thing, and then we're going to end up over in that corner. So this doesn't take a lot of practice since you're already doing it before. So I'm going to hold the ball, I'm going to bring this foot around all the way towards this right foot, and I'm going to just swing my head and my hips around, release this foot, I'm stepping straight behind me. Again, picture that yardstick. I'm going to step straight behind me, point my toes to that corner, and once I put these down, I'm going to start my gesture. Fix the back foot, block and strike. So here's my Fair Lady Works the Shuttles to the last corner. So from over here, do the same thing that you did earlier. Sit back, twist step, slide back, step to the corner, toes down, root the back foot, and finish your gesture to the corner. Sit in your quad. So I'm going to do all 4 of those non-stop, starting from the single whip, so you can see it in one continuous flow. Shift back, pull the left foot 90 degrees, sit back, release the heel, prep the hands. Swing step, 45 degrees, draw the right hand back, fingers even with your chin, another swing step, line up the heels, toes to the corner, toes down, block, strike. Fair Lady Works the Shuttles number 1. Roll back, hold the ball, twist step, step back, point your toes to the corner. Fair Lady Works the Shuttles number 2. Bow stance to the corner. Look left, hold the ball, dragon step, release the back foot, line up the heels, point the toes to the corner, fix the back foot for rooting. Fair Lady Works the Shuttles number 3. Roll back, 90 degree, twist step, release, step back, line up the heels, fix the back foot. Fair Lady Works the Shuttles number 4. Okay, that one's kind of fun, especially when you do the dragon step. That's always my favorite part. So let me know if that's your favorite part too. Okay, I want to talk about the hands as it relates to the first opening move of Fair Lady Works the Shuttles. So I'm going to take it from the single whip and I'm going to face the camera so that you can see what you're going to be doing when you're in the opposite side here. So from the single whip, this first part is pretty easy to figure out. We're just going to let the left hand pull the left foot this far. Now, when I sit back into my left leg, I'm going to straighten out my right foot and bring my left hand up. So this is all well and good. But here's a point that I want to make. When I do this swing step, 45 degrees, my hands don't go with me. My left hand will go with me. I'm going to let my left hand cut across, but my right hand's going to stay in the corner. So as I swing my foot, let your left hand come across, keep your right hand in the corner, because now I have the ability to drop my left hand because it's close to my center and pull my right hand back. So I want to end up in this position just before I do my other swing step to line up my heels and finish my gesture sitting in my quad. Okay? So from your single whip, sit back, pull toes 90 degrees. Again, sit in the back foot, sit in the back leg, sit down, sit, point your toes to the corner. Now, the right hand doesn't move, but the left hand does. Cut across, drop the left hand. You're getting into almost a whole ball position. Right finger is close to your chin. Swing step, line up the toes, block, and strike. Now, one other thing that I want to point out while I'm here, your center is moving both of the hands. So if I'm looking at, I'm at the 50-50 point, just let's pretend we're starting there. My center pushes this hand up. Okay, so the center leads this hand. It also, you should also get a sensation of pushing from your center this hand. So both hands are basically being directed through your center. But that's true for everything that we do in Tai Chi Chuan, so this is not new news. All right, the last pointer that I want to bring out is the footwork on the turning around from Fair Lady Works the Shuttles number 1 to number 2, and also from 3 to 4. I'm going to do this from a different angle. Again, try not to be confused. Right now I'm just isolating certain parts. I'm not doing it in the direction of the form, so I just want to give you another perspective. So this is going to be the first one. I'm doing Fair Lady Works the Shuttles, the first one, and all I want to do is focus my attention on how I turn around. So I'm going to shift back and hold the ball. Now I've got to swing this foot 90 degrees and point it to my right foot. So all my weight's still in my right leg. Now I'm going to release this. And the footwork on this is identical to Embrace the Tiger and Carry the Mountain. I'm going to release this foot, bring it back, but I'm going to keep turning around. So just like Embrace the Tiger, as I turn and look over my shoulder, I can step straight back, point my toes to the corner. Once I'm 50-50, pull the back foot, start to move my center, block, and strike. So again, my intention here was not to confuse you. I just wanted you to see that when I'm actually doing the form, I would be in this corner. And I know you can't really see my foot here because of the camera angle, but that's the twist step that I need to get me over here. So I just wanted to point it out from a different angle in order for you to see that. One other thing that I want to look at is the dragon step. When I do my dragon step, one other thing to keep in mind is as I hold the ball, keep my foot in the corner. All my weight's in my left leg right now, but when I shift, I'm going to put all my weight into my right leg. And again, this is a separation of yin and yang. There's no weight in this guy here. Step over and finish my gesture. So every step that I take, I'm always separating that yin and yang. That's really important as we transition from one move to another.